Born into a real fight wasn't right. Where can she dream here? Took a hold of her.
Hey everybody, sorry about being late. It's been a little bit of an interesting day here at the old Clayton home, Clayton Crawford home. We went through most of the day without electricity. Kind of hard to do a lot of business without electricity. Matter of fact, it's pretty damn impossible if you want to know the truth. But you know what? We are here. And thanks to a couple really, really great friends and the power of recording interviews, we actually have a show today. We have got a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful introduction of a show. It's called Common Sense Access with two incredibly inspirational friends of mine. One is a community partner who, anytime that you shop with her business, she will give a portion of that purchase to the mission of your choice. You choose who it is. And Real Life Access is the name of this organization. You're going to notice something about these two individuals, okay? And I'll get to Daniel in a minute. But, Angela Fowler is the founder of Real Life Access. Daniel is the founder of, jeez, I am so sorry. I'm so far behind right now. And he's the founder, and I'm dropping it and I cannot believe it. But anyway, God, I can see the logo and I cannot, and Pieces of Me. Thank you. I'm so sorry, Daniel. But Daniel is the founder of Pieces of Me. Both of these individuals have dealt with disabilities their entire life, and they are working towards making disabilities easier for others to handle. And Pieces of Me is all about building a better and stronger organization, helping people gain access, gain better, being able to use, because $2 trillion, if you count aging people, individuals, $2 trillion of business is there for you if they can find you. If they can't find you, if they cannot utilize your programs, they can't shop with you. So you have to make sure that your websites are accessible to all. If you do not do this, you are potentially losing your piece of a $2 trillion pie. I know that we definitely don't want to do that. And I'm really thrilled with Mr. Z and the Community Pay It Forward, communitypayitforward.us, because we have a program that helps people access our website. You know, it helps them with movement. We've got one area in the website where there's a lot of movement. There are videos where there's a lot of movement. Some people cannot handle that. The size of the font. Look, we all are getting older. None of us are getting any younger. And small font is harder to read for all of us. So it allows you to expand the font size to where you can actually read it. Colors. If you're colorblind, it helps you see the website easier. Look, if your website is in a place where people cannot see what you're saying on your website, why are they going to stick around there? Why would you? Well, you wouldn't. Okay. If you went to a website and you know, I don't know how many websites I've walked away from because you can't get to them. Well, that's what we are trying with Common Sense Access. We are trying to build a program to help you make sure that your program is accessible. So I am very, very proud to announce that we are now teamed with both of these partners. As you can see, the QR code in the corner is for Pieces of Me. And yes, Pieces is spelled correctly. Okay. Although autocorrect wants to tell me I'm out of my mind. Just saying. I'm not completely out of my mind. But Pieces of Me is spelled correctly on this time. This is what Daniel wanted. So when we get back, we're going to start this this video and the first edition of a brand new. We haven't figured out exactly how many weeks it's going to run. It might run every 2 weeks, I think is what we're going to aim at. But it's Common Sense Access. And as soon as we get back, we're going to run the first episode. So please enjoy this, because I know I learned a lot. And I know that if you learn as much as I do, well, you're learning something. So I know if I can learn from it, Whoever said ignorance is bliss never ran a business. Did you know the vast majority of businesses don't make their products accessible to people with disabilities? And did you know that the collective buying power of people with disabilities is over $2 trillion? And if you're a business owner, you need to know how to make your business accessible so you're not leaving this money on the table. I want to tell you about my family partners at Real Life Access, who can help you connect with this underserved market. Real Life Access clients experience 3 amazing things. First, a reputation for accessibility that brings customers to your door. Second, a freedom of worry about legal consequences from not being ADA compliant. And third, increased revenue. Real Life Access team members offer common sense accessibility solutions which won't break your budget. These are business people who understand the challenges faced by all small businesses. They are also people with disabilities who know what it takes to be accessible. Check out their courses, coaching packages, and so much more at reallifeaccess.com. You'll be glad you did. Hey, everybody, how's it going? You guys all know me. You've heard from me plenty. But I am thrilled to be joining these two wonderful people, and we are going to be bringing up something that you don't think a lot about. And the great thing about it is that we're just going to be talking about it. It's not, this isn't a bitch session. This isn't, we're going to come at you and, you know, wag our finger at you. That's not what this is about. This is just a learning experience and really trying to explain what we are doing. And I am joined by Angela and Daniel. Both of them have wonderful programs that help people make sure that your program is being seen by people who have challenges in accessibility. So I would first like to introduce you to Angela Fowler of Real Life Access. Angela, how are you doing?
Doing well. Well, hello everybody, and Zach is exactly right. We are we're here to educate and we're here to discuss. That's all we're here to do. I'm Angela Fowler. I am the founder and CEO of Real Life Access, which means that Real Life Access runs me rather than me running it. And we offer accessibility coaching and consulting. We also offer accessibility courses. So if you want to learn about accessibility, you know, how do you make your business what the heck is accessibility anyway? We'll get to that later. We're going to define all this stuff. So just bear with us. But we offer accessibility coaching and consulting. We can take your website and make it work for people with disabilities. Now, fun fact about me, I am totally blind. So I know what it's like to not be able to, access something. I also know what it's like to run a business. So I'm going to come at you from a pro-business standpoint. Nobody else is doing this, okay? I guarantee you nobody else is doing this, but we're doing it. I'm a mom. I have one child, and I have fur children, kitties and puppies. Sweet distractions. In fact, I was doing a pre-interview this morning and my cat decided she wanted to be part of the podcast. I'm a homeowner. I live in Northern California, the part of the state that the state forgot. And what else? What else interesting? I'm a sports fan and I like to barbecue and I like to drink beer. So I am atypical in so many ways.
Yet, you know, I am really, who's your team? I gotta ask you that.
It's rough. I'm a Colorado Rockies fan in baseball, and in football, my team is the Niners. And we just lost to the Rams on a last-second field goal. It was. I have yet to recover from the trauma.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you get slapped in the face this morning with Charlie Blackmon announcing his retirement at the end of the season. So,
well, we knew that was coming. We knew this was going to be Chuck's last ride. But the good thing is they'll be able to properly celebrate him and his career. It's going to be a fun final homestand, and hopefully we'll win a game or two.
You know what's kind of fun?
If we can take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, which probably won't happen, but it's my dream, right? If we can take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, beating the Dodgers is always a plus.
Yeah,
Send Chuck out in grand style. That's my dream.
That would be great. When I took my grandkids to the Rockies versus Royals game earlier this year, I was telling everybody, look, I want the Royals to win because I've been a Royals fan my entire life. But, I'm also a Rockies fan. I've been a Rockies fan since they moved to Colorado. I live an hour north of the stadium, so it's really, I love Coors Field. It's one of my favorite places to be. But I told people it's really hard for me to tell people that I am a baseball fan because I like the Rockies and the Royals, and neither one of the management teams know anything about baseball. So, but it's fun to go watch other programs that know a little about the sport. So, but
yeah. I stick with my team and I stick with my players, even if our ownership sucks. Even if our manager should have been fired 2 years ago. You know, we have a GM that's doing his best despite the knotheads he's surrounded with. So you know, I stick with my players. And we might not make the playoffs next year, but we're going to come up and bite some people. And 2026, I think we're going to be strongly in contention. That's my hot take. You can hold me to it.
Well, I'll say that, you know what, they're going to be good until they, you know, they'll get good. They'll find a great player. They're going to sign him to a contract and then watch him leave because he gets upset. That's the Rockies' way. So, you know, but yeah, we could talk about baseball.
I love your optimism, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
man.
You know what? There's always the Yankees out there that can come and take our great players. So
I'm sick of the Yankees. You know
Yeah.
what? They got too many superstars in one place.
That's the curse of money, I guess.
I root for the underdog. You know?
Oh, so do I. So do I. I love the Royals. I love the Rockies. I just can't really say that I'm a huge baseball fan because I'm a fan of the Royals and the Rockies. So,
I think that's
joining us,
a false dichotomy, my friend.
yeah. Well, also joining us is Daniel. Daniel, you started a wonderful company that also is talking about access with Pieces of Me. Why don't you give us a little bit of an explanation on who you are? Introduce us to you.
And before I do that, I'm gonna go with the interesting stuff first. So I am a lifelong Cleveland, now Guardians fan, and a long-suffering Cleveland Browns fan. So Angela's Niners lost on a last-minute kickoff or last-minute field goal. My Browns lost because they didn't show up, like usual. So that's my sports stuff. Yeah, like you mentioned, I started an organization called Pieces of Me Foundation with my cousin back in 2019 while I was between my first and second year of law school. And we did it because, quite frankly, there were too many people like us with disabilities, particularly multiple disabilities, who just were not being adequately served by the legacy organizations. I'm just going to go out there and say it. We have an organization specifically because what's been happening for the last several decades doesn't work. So we're going to try to fix that. My background is I was born with very limited vision in one eye, no vision in the other. I also have a connective tissue disorder called Ehlers-Danlos. We may get into that somewhere down the line. The long and the short of it is I've dealt with a lot of dislocations and fractures and other kinds of stuff. I've had orthopedic surgery in all 4 mainland U.S. time zones, so I know a little about that sort of thing. My other background is I have a bachelor's in education. I have my JD or law degree from University of Baltimore, and I'm, as we recorded this, about halfway through my master's in health administration at Western Governors University. So that's that side of it. And what I try to do in my advocacy work, both with Pieces and consulting with Angela in Real Life Access, is trying to get people out of the mentality of we'll deal with accessibility and inclusion when we get around to it, i.e. the social mandate model, and get people understanding that when we prioritize accessibility and inclusion done right, it is the best way to serve not only people with disabilities, but everyone, because it allows us to fulfill our potential, give back into the community, give back into the work world, whatever it may be, because quite frankly, if 26% of the population is left on the sidelines, you name whatever big global challenge we're facing right now, poverty, homelessness, climate, whatever it is that resonates with you, we can't solve any of those things if we have a quarter of the population just barely able to get past the accessibility hurdles that they're facing in order to go out and participate in solving these things. I'm the father of 3 kids, 1 girl, 2 boys. They're all teenagers or preteens, and I am joining you from East Texas. Fun fact, the 12th state I've lived in, most of them multiple times. So I guess I have a gypsy bone, but that's me in a nutshell.
Well, it's great to meet you, and yeah, I will definitely say with your team, one of the things that I hear quite often is at least you're not the Cleveland Browns. So,
Yeah.
But anyway,
at least the Rockies have players you can root for.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Daniel, but don't get me started on your quarterback.
Oh, I completely agree.
Oh God. Oh man, we
Okay.
could. You know what? We need to get together for another show. A sports talk. I've always wanted to do a sports talk.
Yeah.
If we're not careful, people are going to start thinking this is a sports talk show. So, let's segue into defining what the heck accessibility is, shall we?
Yeah. And Angela, I want to ask because I really want to get this point across to people. There is a staggering number on how much money is out there that if you are not accessible, you're leaving on the table. Can you tell us about that real quick?
Oh yeah, it's insane. And the more I talk about it, the more insane it gets. So let me break this down for you. The collective buying power of people with disabilities, and we can go back and forth on the statistics all day. Statistics are crazy, but it's over $2 trillion if you count seniors, which the government doesn't because they're the government. It's over $2 trillion. That's just people with disabilities. Okay. If you are accessible, people with disabilities are going to recommend you to their friends and family.
Yeah.
We haven't quantified that statistic. If you're accessible to disabilities, then your business is also by default going to be more accessible to people without disabilities. We haven't quantified that statistic either. I don't even think there's any way to quantify that, except to say that accessible businesses make a hell of a lot more money than businesses that aren't accessible. Now, what the heck is accessible anyway?
Right.
Accessibility is basically making shit work for people.
Yep.
Or, because Dan wants me to speak in a professional way, accessibility is making your goods and services, making it so that your goods and services can be purchased and utilized as quickly and as efficiently as possible by as many people as possible. You're not going to get 100% of the time. Every time I come up with something like this, someone comes up with some exception, right? Well, my uncle so-and-so there, he can't do this and he can't do that. And, I don't care how accessible you make we know that, we know there's exceptions. I'm talking about the vast majority of people.
Right. And it's almost like security, that as soon as you find security, like computer security for one thing, somebody's already working to get around it. We're always finding something that is going to be more difficult for somebody else to access. Right, Daniel?
Absolutely. And I love that you made that parallel, because a lot of times when people have been looking at the topic of accessibility, they come across somebody that we might consider to be a shark who would say, oh, do this plugin, do this one step, and your accessibility is taken care of. No, not unless it's going to be continuously updated and really be a dynamic solution. Just like you wouldn't put an antivirus in your computer and say, oh, security's done, I'm now free from viruses and hacking forever. No way.
Yeah.
Well, plugins are going to be their own episode. But let me say this. Any plugin that promises to make your website compliant, they're lying to you, because it won't. If a plugin promises to enhance your accessibility experience, to give the user features that they can use to customize their own experience, then they might be legit. But you still have to work. You still have to do some work to make your things accessible, but it's not as hard as you think. And we'll get into all of that in the next few episodes. We're gonna, we're gonna delve into all of that.
And I think the takeaway there too is, like, as with anything else in life, with your business or anything else, you're going to get out of it what you put into it.
Yep.
Very, very much so. Can we real quickly just give a couple examples on what accessibility is?
So I'll tell you a story that involves my son.
Okay.
And this is one of my favorite stories to tell because it 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 highlights a lot of important things, right? So I was ordering a pizza. Can't remember what app it was. It was a couple years ago now, so whatever the problem's probably been fixed. But I had to update my debit card. So I'm entering the information and I get to the expiration date field, and I don't know what the heck they thought they were doing because the expiration date field was somewhere between an edit box, a date picker, and a freaking rat's nest. It was completely unusable for screen reader users. So I just said, you know what, I'm over this. So I got my son, who was 16, I think, at the time, and I said, can you give me a hand with this? I can't. This is BS. So he fought with it and fought with it. About 5 minutes later, he goes, this isn't even accessible to sighted people.
Yeah.
So accessibility in that situation is creating a form field that works with a keyboard where things are properly labeled and that is intuitive for all users.
Okay.
I think adding to that as well, I'm sure we'll get into this in a later episode, but it's helpful also to distinguish between accessibility and accommodation. You know, we hear all these things about accommodations, and sometimes that's the way to go, but far less often than we might think. And the reason is because when we look at accommodations, we're trying to tailor a solution for somebody based off of a vastly imperfect system, which really contributes to the otherness that we experience. It really makes it harder for us to navigate the system overall, and it leaves some broken things in place. Accessibility, by contrast, is looking at the system itself and saying, if we design this well from the get-go, whether it be a website, whether it be a building, or even something like the expectations in a job, if we could design these things from a strong universal design or user experience perspective in the first place, then our need to accommodate is significantly decreased.
I like to say accommodation is what happens when access fails.
Yeah.
So you can build a website the right way so that the vast majority of people can use it, or you can spend your time fielding customer complaints and helping your customers use your website. And honestly, you know, we're going to get into, you know, remediation, retrofitting later. But if you're building a website or if you're redesigning a website, it costs just as much to do it the accessible way as to do it the inaccessible way if you have somebody else do it. And don't, you know, forget about, from an accessibility perspective, forget about GoDaddy and Wix and Squarespace and all those guys. If you want a quick do-it-yourself website that's accessible, go with WordPress. You know, you can do it. You don't have to be a coder to build a website using WordPress. You can code all you want to, but if you don't know code, that's okay. You don't need to know code.
Right. And again, this is extremely important because there is $2 trillion out there that you are leaving on the table. If people cannot access your website, you don't have a chance to gain those customers.
A lot of money, my friend.
Right.
Is that 12 zeros, Dan? How many zeros is that?
You're right. I think you're right.
What?
I think you're right. And I think it's important to say there, too, that market share is growing as the population ages and as we start to solve the unemployment crisis among people with disabilities. That means there's going to be a significant economic upshift in collective spending power, both with getting people employed and, equally as important, getting people on the upward mobility track. So this number is not shrinking by any means.
That's a great point. And Daniel, I know that one of the things that we wanted to talk about are what can people expect from this podcast. What are some of the things, real quick, that they are not going to get from this podcast? I think that's important because we don't want to scare people away.
We are going to do everything we can to avoid anything that reeks of blame, shame, social mandate, anything that tries to compel people to make a change. We're designed to, our programs are designed to meet people where they are and help them take this new set of information and figure out how to apply it to their circumstances in a way that makes sense for them.
Yeah, that's great.
This isn't a disability justice podcast. You can, if you want a disability justice podcast, you can find plenty of those. We're an accessibility podcast, and we're a pro-business podcast. We want to show you how to make things accessible because that benefits everybody. A couple of the topics we're gonna get into. The next episode is gonna cover basically the elephant in the room. We're gonna deal with the elephant in the room, and that is the law, which means that Dan's going to do most of the talking, which means you're going to have a lot more of a cerebral conversation and a few fewer swear words. After that, I'm not sure what we're going to talk about. We've got a few, we've hinted at a few topics, but each episode is going to cover a topic that is relevant to accessibility. And relevant to how people with disabilities do things, because a lot of people just don't know how people with disabilities do things. I've heard people in the disability community say, oh, well, the ADA has been around for 30 years. People should know this stuff. I'm sorry, but that's bullshit. If you haven't experienced it, if you haven't thought about it, of course you don't know. People only look at things through the lens of their own experience until somebody comes along to broaden that lens, and that's what we're for.
Yeah, to go back to something we were talking about earlier, Angela, I've watched people throw a baseball at 99 miles an hour for 50 years. That don't mean I can throw a baseball at 99 miles an hour.
But you take those folks that can do that, there's a lot of stuff that we can do that they can't do.
Right. That's very well put. Daniel?
I think to your point too, Zach, but actually both of you, when we talk about things that are pro-business and looking at things through that lens, there's a very pragmatic side to this. Yes, we believe that access is a human right. We're not going to dispute that. But at the same time, if we get so caught up in looking at things from our perspective as end users, then we end up in a place where we may not be able to meet the business where they are. And the problem with that is if we end up fighting for a solution that would effectively bankrupt that business instead of working with them to find a win-win proposition, business goes under. We don't have access to any of their goods and services. Nobody's won in that case. The far more practical, reasonable, and I think beneficial route for everyone is to say, okay, here's what we need. Here's what you need. Let's get some smart people together and figure out how to make this happen collaboratively.
Exactly. And we can do it. Their accessibility benefits everybody. We can get there. It may look like fixing the worst problems first and then going from there. It may look like just a little education. It may look like just labeling a few things. Whatever it is, we can make it work for everybody.
Right. And again, this is just a way that we can help you make sure that, give you an idea on what you need to do to better your business. Again, this is not us sitting there giving you the finger wag. It has nothing to do with that. This is just about us trying to help you make sure that you are making the most of your business. I'd like to take real quick, and I'd like to point a couple things out that you're going to see throughout this show. on the bottom of the screen right now, you see where it says communitypayitforward.us/real life access. That's where you can go to our website and you can see more of what you will find that Angela and Daniel both do. This is a program that will help you make sure that there's access on your computer, on your website to really help you better your business. They are a community pay it forward partner, which means anytime that you hire them, they're going to help us help someone else. Now you take and you look up right next to me, you'll see a QR code for Pieces of Me, which is one of our mission partners that Daniel started. So you hire someone like Real Life Access, we can help a nonprofit like Pieces of Me. Scan that QR code, give us a picture of your receipt, give us the invoice from one of our partners, and a portion of your purchase will go to support programs like Pieces of Me. So this is all something where you can take and you can make a huge difference just by your own business using all this information that you're going to hear to make your business better. Plus you can support programs by making your business better. So do you all have anything to say before we shut down the first episode?
It's going to be a fun ride. Buckle up. And just what Zach said, if you hire Real Life Access for something, if you buy some courses from us, whatever the thing is, let us know that you came to us through Community Pay It Forward. Just drop me a note and let me know, because my name is Angela and I can't keep track of anything.
We actually had that conversation earlier. It seems like the more we try to keep things in line, the more we lose things. So I looked in my filing cabinet today trying to keep my filing right, and I realized, oh my God, my filing's even off. So
well, my calendar is like an earthquake and a tsunami and everything else today. So I don't know what the heck I'm doing. So, but that'll about wrap it up for us, right? For episode 1 is in the books.
That sounds great for Angela Fowler, for Daniel of Pieces of Me. My name is Zach. We will see you on the next episode. Thank you. This holiday season, as the world celebrates in so many ways, some families are facing it apart, feeling the weight of loneliness. At a miracle of a community that cares, we are creating a space where everyone, regardless of faith or background, can share in the joy of this wonderful season. Join Santa and leaders from all walks of life for stories, special shout-outs, and heartfelt messages from loved ones near and far. Children are taking the lead with art and fun, helping us bring the gift of books to children everywhere. Children in hospitals, children to families of all faiths, and to fortify traditions of families. This season, let's come together as a global community, one that cares, one that gives, and one that embraces all cultures, part of the miracle. Join us from December 24th to December 26th, and let's make this season unforgettable for everyone. I think it was really important to play the spot there for Z World Webs after our first episode of the accessibility show, because Mr. Z, being a web builder, is so careful with your websites, and he truly wants to make sure that he's doing the best he can for you, for your business. Okay. I mean, look, there's absolutely no secret that I love Z for everything he is, everything he does, everything he's done for this company. We've got other website builders that we are partnered with, and I love them as well, because everybody that we work with makes sure that people who have to overcome different ability challenges, they can access what you've got, what you need, what you do. And again, Angela said it in that video. 2 trillion. That's the one with the T. Okay? There are no trillionaires in this world. Okay? Think about that. 2 trillion. There are no trillionaires. So that's a lot of damn money is out there looking for homes, looking for people to shop with. $2 trillion in expendable income is there for you. And if they can't find you, they are not going to shop with you. So, look, I really appreciate Angela and Daniel for who they are, for what they do, for what they've gone through, just because, look, they could have decided, I'm not going to do nothing, but they all went for it. They both went for it. Daniel told you he's got a law degree. They both work hard to make life better for other people. And that's why we are proud to be part of who they are, and we're thrilled to have them in our program, and we're thrilled to share the spotlight with them and make lives better. So, speaking of making lives better, my next guest is a dear friend. Every time I talk to this lady, I smile. Every time I get a chance to see her, we have a great time. She is a wonderful, wonderful person. She lives here in Colorado, so I get to talk to her a lot. She's always accessible for nonprofits who need help, who need advice. She's willing to share. She's willing to give of herself, and I appreciate that more than anything. Her and I have been working together for quite a few years now, and they unfortunately got rid of her job with the last place she was at. And so she's looking for something new. And I'm just going to say, I'm going to come out and say, you know what? I'm going to challenge you. If you can look at your organization and say that this organization cannot move forward, don't worry about calling her. But if you can see your organization moving forward, you're just missing that piece. I challenge you to call my next guest. She's amazing at what she does. She's amazing at being who she is, and she's amazing at getting people Oh, that says Amazon. I saw the book in the corner there, and it looked like it was said amazing. And no, it says Amazon. But I was like, wow, maybe I'm reading that wrong. But she is amazing on what she does, and she's got a new gig. And when we get back here in just a second, we are going to revisit with our really good friend Janet Hatfield. Introducing Shop, Click, and Pick, the simplest way to support those doing good in communities everywhere. We understand that shopping is a necessity, but with a slight adjustment, you can make a huge difference without spending any extra money. Here's how it works. Please visit communitypayitforward.us and navigate to the Find Your Partners tab. Discover our verified giving partners, which are trusted allies ready to meet your needs. Shop with any of the partners that resonate with you. Click a picture of the receipt or invoice, then pick the mission partner you wish to support and use their QR code to send the receipt directly to us. After that, all you have to do is sit back and enjoy your purchases, knowing that you've made a meaningful change for someone in need. Community Pay It Forward amplifies your business's impact by sharing the story of those who require your services, rallying support for those who need us all. Because no one needs to go it alone when we all come together. I am very excited to have Janet back with us. Janet, you left your former employer. And you're looking for new opportunities. And I do want you to talk about that a little bit after we're done here. So maybe if somebody out there hears this, and they'll know how perfect you would be for their organization, because she would be perfect for your organization. I'm telling you right now. But Janet Hatfield, how are you doing, sweetheart?
I'm always good. It's so, like I said, it's funny that, you know, when Healing Warriors eliminated my position, that I thought, oh no, Zach and I won't get to work together anymore. And then I end up on the board for, you know, NOCO Santa Squad, and here we are again. So you just can't get rid of me.
Well, you know, I never, ever thought that thought never crossed my mind. I knew that you were going to end up somewhere where you were going to be helping people. I knew that I was hoping I wasn't going to go anywhere, but I knew that we were going to have a chance to work together, because both of us enjoy doing, you know, the whole helping others thing is so ingrained in both of our hearts. And yep. I just figured, you know, at some point in time you would come and you know, just say, you know what, I don't need money, I'll work for you, Zach. Let's get Community Pay It Forward built up.
I wish I were independently wealthy, but unfortunately.
I will tell you, if I could say that to anybody and mean it, it would definitely be you. I wish you were independently wealthy as well. That way you could take over the duties that I need from you. But
I would love it, because then I could just roam around and just help every nonprofit, you know. I mean,
yeah, you know, hey, there are advantages of it, you know, and I mean, just saying that, you know, eventually it would be a pretty good gig.
I know.
So you do have a new pet project, though. And
I do.
You have known about what they're doing for a little while. And this is, if anything, this is a Northern Colorado type event. I mean, this screams Northern Colorado. Tell us a little bit about the NOCO Santa Squad.
So last year, I don't know how many people actually realized, but NOCO, or not NOCO, Santa Cops dissolved last year. And it was around November when they actually dissolved last year, which is not great timing for, you know, the holidays to dissolve something that was very dependent, you know, for the families in need to have gifts for their kids at Christmas and for families. So the founder of this organization, he'd been doing toy drives for a few years and is very ingrained with, you know, first responders and the police forces, and he's also a veteran. And when they dissolved, he tried to do everything he could to help them, and they just said, we can't move forward for various reasons. The space was part of it, because warehouse space is really hard for a lot of nonprofits that do toy distribution to find, you know, and to have someone donate space. So if there's people out there who have space that they want to donate to NOCO Santa Squad, you know, all you have to do is reach out, because we're more than willing to listen, because the more room we have, the more kids we can serve, and it just makes it a little bit easier to navigate when you've got extra space to be able to store stuff. So Marty found out that they dissolved, and he was not going to let that happen. So he took whatever they had left over last year even and got those distributed so that they didn't just sit there, and said, you know, we need to do something. So he and 4 other folks, there's a couple of vets in the group, and then the rest are all kind of first responders and just awesome people who decided, we're going to start a nonprofit, and what do we call ourselves? So NOCO Santa Squad is what came in, and they filed for their 501c3. They finally got approved in March. So it has been just like go, go, go ever since. You know, it's like, hey, we're official now. It's like website and events and all of this stuff going on, you know. And the biggest thing for them too is that what they really want to emphasize is that it's about the kids, obviously, but it's also about the families and the parents, because everybody has had one of those years where it is so tight.
Yep.
And when you're a parent, you never want your kids to feel that. You know, you try to shelter them from all that stuff if you possibly can. You always have to go, sorry, we can't do that right now, or money's tight, you know, but they don't really realize how tight when you tell them that. So the stress it puts on parents when holidays, when birthdays, when things like that come around, and you are just like looking at, okay, I can either, you know, buy groceries or buy a gift for my kid. That's rough. That is rough. That puts some stress on parents like you wouldn't believe. So for them, they are taking care of, it's not only Christmas, it's also for birthdays, for special occasions, because those things come up all the time. Somebody just lost their job and then their kid is having a birthday party. So they're taking care of people all year long, all across Northern Colorado. I mean, from Jackson County all the way around. This is not just a Larimer County or a Weld County thing. This is, you know, as far as they can reach, as much as they can take care of is what they're trying to do. So the first big things are, you know, obviously to get donors and people who will, you know, either if they don't want to go and buy toys and drop them off at locations, they can just donate online, because that's where that money goes. It goes to buy toys. And on the website is already a map of where some of the boxes are located that people are already, you know, doing toy drives for. So there's a map there that literally tells you where that is. And then the first event is coming up pretty much on our heels. It is like a week from Saturday. And it is their first clay shoot tournament that they're doing. It's over at Great Guns, where they all usually are. But it's a great event. If you are somebody who likes to clay shoot, please sign up. It's $100 for a single. It is $350 for a foursome team. If you are a company that would want to sponsor, there are station sponsors that are, let me look at my notes here. I wrote everything down so I wouldn't mess anything up. So there's stand sponsors, station sponsors that are $750, but that includes 4 shooters. And if you're a company who doesn't have anybody that clay shoots, but you still want to sponsor, just donate the foursome, you know, to somebody else, and we'll find people to fill it. But sponsoring is a great way for them to be able to raise money for this cause. If you want to be an event sponsor, it's $1,500. Again, it also includes 4 shooters, but lots of marketing, lots of play. We love our sponsors, and we will make sure that you get a lot of marketing value out of these sponsorships. And it's a great way to help your community, because when we support causes like this, because there's a lot of families in need, times are tough, And again, when one resource drops out of the picture and another one steps in to pick it up, that many more families are on the list too. If you're an organization who needs that help, if you work with families and children in need, hit us up, get on our list. You know, if you're a school district, whoever you are, you know, get a hold of us and let us help your folks that you're helping with whatever services you're providing to them. But we're there to help everybody that we possibly can. And we network with the other organizations that do the same thing, basically. I have a meeting with a friend of mine who runs the Toys for Tots stuff for the Marine Corps on Saturday, because everybody is in a big partnership to just make sure that everybody is taken care of. We all have to work together.
Right. It's done right. It's not done like some of these other nonprofits in this area, Janet. And I'm not going to name names, but I'm pretty sure you know a couple of them that I'm talking about. But they treat it like this is our area. What are you trying to step on our toes about?
Right.
And it's like, wait a minute. How is helping people stepping on your toes?
Right. You've got to consider the bigger picture. It's like, what are you doing this for? You know, there is no competition in nonprofit land, you know, and everybody thinks that. And that's not the way anybody should be thinking, because every service, every organization, everybody that's out there helping and doing their part, all need to work together. We all need to be resources for each other. We all need to, you know, help each other and hold hands and just get our community stronger, you know, because times are tough. It's gotten worse and worse over years and years and years. And it's not just something politically or anything else. It's just a matter of fact. You know, the veteran cause that I worked for, that gets worse and worse. You know, there's more and more homeless veterans. There's more and more, you know, homeless populations that are happening out there for whatever reason, because most people are a paycheck away, you know, from bankruptcy half the time, or one medical bill away from being, you know, totally hosed when it comes to where their life is going. So we can't look at it as it's not a competition. It's a collaboration.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing. Look, if one organization could do this on their own, there wouldn't be a need for this.
Exactly.
One of the things that I was unaware of the Santa Cops thing. I was completely unaware. How
a lot of people are.
How I'm unaware of that, I don't know. But I've worked with Charlie Barnes in the past and his sleigh riders and doing the toy gathering for the Santa Cops. So that's shocking to me that to hear that, because I know that there was a lot of money put into that, and there was a lot of but the one thing that we've got that does bring a smile to my face, and Janet, is when we were going to lose Northern Colorado Honor Flight. You know, when we lost the leader of Northern Colorado Honor Flight, everybody was heartbroken because, first off, we lost him. He was a giant. He was a giant for a little man. He truly was. You know, and we were crushed because of that, but then we were crushed because we were losing an institution.
Right.
Yet his team stepped up and said,
Right.
We lost him. We didn't lose this. And Northern Colorado Honor Flight is still going. This is just one more thing where, you know, Santa Cops goes down, but somebody else comes in and goes, this is too important. And it just proves that there are so many people out there who are looking to do good things, and it just makes me happy. You know, you and I need to talk about the miracle of a community that cares. We've got a huge thing going on Christmas Day that's where we've got people who are deployed who can leave a message for their kids, and we're trying a book drive all over the world. We're going to try to collect books all over the world. So I need to make sure that we connect with that. We've got a couple Santa Clauses that are going to read stories and stuff for kids. So, it's something that maybe you guys can help us share and have some kids listen to Santas tell a couple stories. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what it's about. And I mean, these guys are, you know, they're trying to jump in with like 18 feet, you know, and do everything, you know, very, very quickly, because the year has gone by super fast. I mean, I can't believe we're almost in October. I'm just like, what happened to this year? So with these guys, you know, running and jumping and trying to get into stuff, the clay shoot was the first thing that they're doing. Then they also have, so on October 26th and 27th, at the Timnath Walmart and at the North Leveland Walmart, there's actually going to be a Toys by the Truckload showdown. 2 18-wheeler guys who got together and basically challenged each other. It's like, I can fill my truck before you can fill your truck. So it's Rick Rickard and Tyler Willox. So they basically challenged each other and we got it together with Walmart. And so they're going to be out there the 26th and the 27th, one at each location, for everybody to be able to fill these trucks with toys for us. So that's another big event that we have coming up in October, to really kickstart the giving, you know, the toy portion. It's not just toys. We're not just looking for toys. We're looking for need items as well. So winter clothes, coats, boots, any 0 to 18, boys and girls, you know, it's pretty wide open. It's not like we're pigeonholing you and saying, well, we only take stuff for 7-year-old girls that like pink, you know.
Here's the truth. You know what? As a kid, we hated getting those jeans for Christmas. It's like, what the hell am I getting jeans for when there's this cool toy out there? But the truth is, you know what? This was the only time that some of us ever got new clothes.
Exactly.
For Christmas. So you got to remember, this is also, it's out of necessity. And these are things, I love the fact that you brought this up, that every parent goes through this.
Yes.
Not every parent, but the majority of us parents go through this to where we just don't have it this year. We just don't have it this year. What are we going to do? And you're dependent on people who, you know, some of us have those people, others don't. Not everybody's got those people. So
not everybody has family where they live and they don't have that network, you know. I mean, it's not like it was back in the day when you lived, you know, right in the same town with all your family. I mean, people are scattered based on jobs, based on lifestyles, based on whatever. So a lot of them don't have that net, that safety net, you know. And so, yeah, this is to help out with all of those things. And no matter what program it's ever been, when kids get coats, boots, those kind of things, they always get a toy in there as well. They always make sure that there's a good balance of that. But if you're one of those parents, so talking to the people who aren't in need right now, if you're one of those parents and you go by your kid's room or you try to walk in there and you're tripping over all the stuff that they have and 90% of it is stuff that they don't even play with anymore, you're the perfect parent to say, I want to go give a toy to an organization that's going to give this to a kid who's going to appreciate the toy they're going to get. Because that's just the way it is. You know, when you aren't a family in need and you're not struggling and your kids get piles of stuff for birthdays, for Christmas, for all of that, they get very complacent about all of their toys versus the kids that are in need and the families that are in need. When they get something, man, that is like a cherished item to them because they don't have piles of it, you know. So it's a heart-centered organization that just wants kids to one of my people from Santa Squad that just wants people to be able to have some joy at a time where they may not have it otherwise. You know, it's a very small gesture to do. I mean, again, you can go to the site and donate. You can go by Walmart on the 26th and 27th and throw something in the truck. You can go to the clay shoot. Yes, we are looking for shooters. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for people who really just want to help out for this kind of a cause. And you're having a great fun day. Food's provided. You do need to bring your own gun and your own ammo. So if you're already a clay shooter, that's easy for you guys. And again, like I said, if you want to sponsor, we love our sponsors. We will give you so much play. It's not even funny, and put you on our partner page and everything on the website. And if you guys don't shoot, if you don't have anybody in your organization that's a shooter, just donate it back and we will find people to fill the spots and we'll make sure that you are the sponsoring person for their team. But it's a great cause and it's coming up on us, but we really, for their first one, we are really trying to push to make this kind of the launch pad for their events, you know. And like I said, then we've got the toy drive at Walmart, and then we've got our banquet that's going to be coming up November 9th. That one's going to be a serious fundraiser too. It's Tinsel and Toys is the theme for it, and it's at I always forget the name of this place. I want to always make it backwards. It is Dreams and Dragonflies in Johnstown, an event venue that they have out there in Johnstown. It's really pretty. It's more of a wedding venue, but they do holiday parties, they do birthdays, they do everything. So it's a beautiful venue. It's catered by Les's or somebody's barbecue. I forget. May not be Les's.
Les's Barbecue Smokehouse in Wellington.
But that's for the clay shoot, I think.
Oh, okay.
Not for the banquet. Yeah. And I don't remember who the one is for the banquet, because we just got the flyer done, so we'll get that up on our website. But stay.
You know what? And share it with us, Janet, and
Yes.
we'll put all of this out. Look, I think that one of the things that you guys are doing, Janet, you guys, and you mentioned this before, this isn't only for the kids, okay? One of the reasons why we're doing miracles is because miracles, I'm doing miracles because December is the month of suicides. Look, when a parent goes through this, I can't do nothing for my family. What the hell am I doing here? They'll end their life. That's the worst thing in the world for a kid.
Yeah.
So I think what you guys are doing, it gives hope for a parent that, you know what, there's somebody here who can get me past this god awful year and get me the next year when we can do this.
Exactly.
And we can keep building on people because they're still going to be here. So I think it's, look, as always,
it's giving them a hand through a hard time. And that's what every nonprofit organization is about. You know, it's giving them a hand during a hard time, no matter what that might be, you know, and there's organizations out there that fill just about every need. They're all there. People just have to go and seek it out. Sometimes it's not always very apparent, you know, when you think, oh my God, nobody has this problem but me. Guess what? There's plenty of people, and there's organizations out there that you can find help for. You just have to make that call, or you have to take that step. So same with this, you know, and I get that with a lot of them, there's an ethos, or there's a guilt, or there's a shame factor, or there's a lot of those kind of things, you know, for asking for help, because it's like, I was never in this situation. I never had to ask for help. Now I'm here and I don't want to ask for help because it's embarrassing, or it's this, or it's that. So what? Get over it. You know, they're there for you. Other people don't deserve it more than you. Everything is there to help you. So, and pick up the phone, get on the website, send an email, whatever you need to do to get help in the situation that you're in, you need to reach out.
And do it now. Don't do it. Don't fool yourself into thinking, look, we've got this right now. We've got it, because you may have it. Okay. No kidding. You may have it. But if it starts to go south any further, it starts to roll out of hand to where you don't have control of it anymore. And that's something we've been trying to tell people forever. It's good to think that you've got everything under control right now. It's good to have that buffer, but it's always better to have somebody there to give you support. If they're giving you the support to stay standing taller, that's no different than them not being able to help you because you're so far down.
Right. So, and there's nothing wrong with
that's right.
With life happening sometimes, you know, it happens. And there's nothing wrong with saying, I don't have it together, you know, because again, there are organizations, there are people, there are networks, there are groups, there are so many things out there that, yes, don't wait and, you know, and try to deny the fact that you are in a problem situation, because thinking, okay, next week or whatever, you know, I will get it together, or this will get better, because you're counting chickens before they're hatched a lot of times. And then all of a sudden that falls through and your depression level dives even deeper. It's like, get help now when it first starts to get bad, because then
hey, look, the government's going to send me a check to get us by for right now. It's in the mail. We know it's going to come any day now.
Yeah. And then you start to, you know, work your way down that spiral. It's like, if we can put a cork in that spiral for a while to help you get through it easier. If that check shows up, great, you know, but if it doesn't, at least you've already reached out and you're getting the help that you need, you know, to carry you across to the next level of whatever next is going to happen, you know, or whatever your next move is going to be to get yourself out of it. But yeah, there's so many organizations, and the biggest thing for for-profit companies that are out there that want to support nonprofits is every time you support a nonprofit, you are helping strengthen your community as a whole.
That's right.
So you as a mortgage, a realtor, a whatever organization or company that you may be with, when you're looking at, well, why do I want to support, you know, homeless people or this or that? Because I'm a realtor, homeless people can't buy a home. Well, guess what? If no one supports homeless people, they're never going to be able to buy a home. So everybody pitching in to get our community healthier and safer and stronger will eventually have those people finally be able to, yes, buy a home, open a bank account, get a normal job, get their life together, and then they will be able to take advantage of your services. But if you don't want to do it because you don't get an immediate gratification out of helping someone, then you're in the wrong business to begin with, because you're supposed to be in this community to be part of this community. And being part of this community is building it from the ground up. Be that foundation. Help those people to lift these people up to a point that our entire community is stronger.
Yeah, see, Janet, you've already got the sales pitch for Community Pay It Forward right there. You know, that's exactly what we tell people. Look, if you're in business where everyone's struggling, why are you in business there?
Right.
You know, I mean, if people are struggling where you're in business, you're not going to get the business anyway. So, you know, if you don't take and step up and try to help people, you're getting the business you deserve, honestly.
Exactly.
If you can't put a little behind it. So this is let's talk real quick, Janet, about what are you looking for? What is it that you can bring to an organization that you, and again, I don't say this lightly, okay, that you want your organization to shine. This is the lady that you need to talk to. I watched her bust her ass every day for an organization and do things that, I mean, Janet, you worked harder than anybody I've ever met, and you did more for this organization. And while I still love what they do, I can't believe that they would let you go. I still say it every day. Every time I slip on the shirt, I still say it every day. But you know what? I do still support them. But what are some of the things that you can do to help another organization, and let us help you try to find a new home?
So everybody that I run into, because I keep my network always alive. So I've been meeting with everybody. I actually have the time to meet with them now, you know. So it's been fun. I mean, I go out and I have coffee and we get together, and that's exactly what they always ask me. It's like, what are you looking for? And I was like, you know what? It's like finding a new boyfriend. You know what you don't want. So I know the things that I don't want out of my next adventure, you know, in life. But what I'm looking for is, again, an organization that is out there serving the communities that they're in, that could use the talent that I have over God knows how many years that I've been doing the stuff that I've been doing. 10 years of nonprofit work, you know, event planning, marketing, development. I mean, I have done a little bit of everything. I've been an IT network person. I was a network or an IT director for 4 years. I mean, I've done, if you want to know who I am, go on LinkedIn and stalk me and, you know, connect up with me if you want. I'm always open to connections. But that's the best way to kind of get a view into who I am. I have a lot of years. I've been in Northern Colorado since 1984. I have a huge network, and I work my network. I love my people. It's not just people I connect with, it's people I have relationships with. So I am the storyteller. I am the mouthpiece for the organizations that I choose to be a part of, because I want the integrity, I want the passion, I want the mission to align with what I would want to see out there, you know, and what I feel good with being a part of. And when I do that, I become their mouthpiece. I tell their story, because a website can only tell you so much about a company.
Yep.
So I'm that person who I will dive in. I will learn everything about that organization. I will empathetically grab all the passion, all of the heartache, all of the things that are part of what made this organization what it is. And I will be that mouthpiece to spread that message and to make people understand the importance of aligning with those organizations. Because that's my biggest thing. I worked for profit for years, and then I ventured over into nonprofit because I realized that I've been on both sides of the fence now, and now I can talk to for-profits about nonprofits the way that they need to be talked to. And some of it's guilting them. Some of it's because when I was with the last organization, I literally told them, I said, thanking veterans twice a year is great on your social media. But I said, if you really want to help the veterans and you really want to thank them, put your money behind an organization that boots on the ground every single day is doing something to help these people. And it's the same with most nonprofits. You know, if you guys want to thank those populations of people, or say, oh, thoughts and prayers, or we want to help, you know, this is how you help. You look at that organization, you say, what can we do to help? Whether it's volunteering, whether it's donating, whether it's, you know, supplying services, even, you know, it's like if they need an accountant, provide accounting services for free. If they need a photographer for their events that they don't have to pay out of pocket for, step up and be a photographer for them. You know, there are so many ways to be able to give back to these organizations. And most of them aren't out there putting their hand out for $10,000 at a time.
Yeah.
It'd be great, but every dollar counts, you know,
That's
in
right.
a nonprofit.
That's
Every
right.
single dollar counts. So it doesn't
Yep.
have to be. When people used to apologize when they handed me a smaller check, I was like, what are you apologizing for? Do you realize that this $1,500 is going to help, like, you know, 25 veterans, you know, get services for free? I mean, it's like there is no little amount that anybody can donate where we're going to be offended by it, you know. Doesn't work
Look,
that way.
Yeah, businesses, look, the best thing in the world to do is put your business where your heart is.
Yeah.
Okay. Put your business where your heart is. Make sure that, you know, people look, there's a really easy way to tie it in. Your business to what you care about. You know, there's nothing wrong with doing that. I mean, there's people who, you hear people all the time say, well, I support this, I support
Right.
that. Well, prove to people
Prove it.
you do.
Right. And
Don't
stop
just-
looking for an ROI.
Yeah.
You know,
There
that's what
you go.
happens as well. You know, the for-profits, unfortunately, because of the way that marketing people and accountants have all been trained, it's all about the dollar and what are we getting back for that dollar? What is our return on investment with that dollar? When you're supporting a nonprofit, that's a little bit different. You cannot treat them like another for-profit entity that you are sponsoring. If you're sponsoring a stadium, or if you're sponsoring, you know, a car wrap, whatever, you cannot sit there and take people as an ROI that you're out there helping, you know, and say, well, we're not going to get any money back from this, so why should we support it? Okay, that mindset needs to shift. There's tons of reasons why you should be doing it, most of which we've already talked about, because you are part of the community that you're serving. And if you want a stronger community, and if you want to outlast that community, then you need to be in there supporting them on a monetary basis for those groups of people that need the most help in your community to raise it up a few notches.
Yeah. And hey, and you know what? Businesses, business owners, professionals here in Northern Colorado, you want to see how you can help somebody right now, today. You see that? It just came on your screen. NOCO, santasquad.org. Share out that website today with your circle. Share it out to everyone. Say, hey, anybody in? Anybody in? Let's do this.
Make a competition out of it. Everybody's got people that they like to challenge to stuff.
Yep.
You know, it's like, hey, if you're a group of clay shooters, or if you're a clay shooter, and it's like, challenge your buddies, challenge your people at work. It's like, hey, let's get a few teams together and let's go head to head. Let's see who's good at doing this. You know, there's cash prizes for this. There's auction items that are going to be amazing for this. You know, so there's, and again, it's not only for what you're going to get by going, it's for what you're going to feel after having supported an organization and what they're going to do with the dollars that we raise, to put a smile on every kid's face, you know, that otherwise is not going to have a birthday or a Christmas, and to give a sense of relief and a little bit of a stress reduction to the parents who are trying to navigate through those occasions that can't.
God, I love that. I love the fact that you're not just thinking of the one holiday season. That's the whole reason why we're doing this with the books, is so we can have books in Northern Colorado hospitals all year long for these for these kids who are going through something terrible, you know.
Absolutely.
And I don't care if it's mid-June, little Susie getting a book with her name on the inside cover means just as much to her as it would if she was there on Christmas Day.
Oh, exactly.
It doesn't matter. So I absolutely love that. Janet, how do people get a hold of you, my dear?
So there are lots of ways.
By the way, the first answer to this is not call your old office phone. We found
exactly.
this out earlier.
That was so funny when you said you messaged me. I was like, did you though?
Thank God nobody else can get messages from that phone either. So nobody else is sitting there going, well, this guy's a dummy.
Yeah, no, that's not even a textable one. So that's why I was like, who did you text? So NOCOSantaSquad.org. Go to the website. There is a contact us page. If you have just general questions or want to get a hold of anybody, there is a contact us page. If you want to get a hold of me in particular, just throw a Janet in front of that. So Janet at NOCOSantaSquad.org. The phone number for the organization is actually 970-31-SANTA. How you like that? So it's 317-2682. But the clay shoot is the big thing. October 5th. Be there, guns in hand, and yeah.
Guns are roaring. You know, it's actually
roaring.
kind of funny. We're sitting here thinking of, I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I went to a golf thing at one point in time, and I actually was standing behind somebody on the driving range, and I got hit by this person, and I was standing behind him. I could just see me with the shotgun, and everybody that was safe would be.
It'd be like a Dick Cheney situation or something. Dick Cheney?
The only people that would be safe were the people in front of me, because but yeah, I could not believe that I actually got hit with a golf ball on the driving range, and I was standing behind the kid.
That's so funny. Yeah, I'm not a shooter either. I was kind of laughing with some friends. I said, I mean, I would have to go out there with a super soaker, which I don't think would really kill the clay. We just maybe able to mold it after if I soaked it enough. But there you go. I just don't own any guns. So, but there's plenty of people out there who love clay shoot tournaments. They go to them all the time. They have them up in Northern Colorado quite a bit. And most companies will do them. And here's the thing too. Here's another one. If you're a for-profit company and you have events that you do throughout the year, but you're not doing them to raise money, you're just doing them as networking events or vendor events or whatever, turn them into a fundraiser and pick a nonprofit to be that beneficiary, because nonprofits have a staff of about 0 most of the time to be able to pull off anything. And so for them to do events, it's hard. It takes a lot of manpower and it takes a lot of effort and energy. So be a third-party vendor for these people, be a third-party event person, have your golf tournament, but then take the proceeds for that and pick a nonprofit to be the beneficiary of that. Pick a different one every year, or pick multiples.
Don't be a cop-out and give it to some big organization.
Exactly.
Look across the street at an organization that's right across the street from your building. Understand there are people who are busting their ass every day in your town. In every town, there are nonprofits.
And expenses, donations, everything that it takes, the services that are provided, those happen every single day all year long.
Yeah.
So Colorado Gives is great. Giving Tuesday is great, but that's one time a year where you're trying to make up a big chunk for what they're trying to do all year long. So become a frequent donor, a recurring donor, even if it's $10 a month. It's 10
Yeah.
bucks a month. We love you
And-
just as much as the guys that are donating $1,000 every now and a blue moon.
And that's not telling you to not donate during Giving Tuesday or any of those.
No,
Go on ahead and
absolutely
do
not.
that. But make sure that you realize a nonprofit isn't a 2-day-a-year thing. A nonprofit
Right.
is a 365 plus
and
day a
sometimes
year thing.
24/7. Yes.
Yeah. You know,
Because I mean,
look,
yeah, I used to work till midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes, you know. I mean, you put in whatever it takes to make the mission happen. We don't work on a time clock.
yeah, I did that too. And then I got married and my wife said, yeah, you keep doing that and you won't have a wife no more. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess not. Maybe then.
See, I've been single for the last 10 years on purpose because I would end up having the same issues with anybody that would get with me, because it's like, when I am in an organization, I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm in it all the way. You know, I don't just do things halfway. So I am there doing whatever needs to happen to make sure that we're successful and that we can keep growing the services and the help that we're out there giving to people. That's what it's about. I mean, the best case scenario would be that every nonprofit gets put out of business because all of the issues have been solved. That's not going to happen. So,
You know,
because that can't happen, what they need is help from the people that can afford to help, the companies that can afford to pony up, and half the companies have other resources that they can draw from. They all have marketing budgets. They also have sponsorship budgets, which are usually 2 different budgets. Car dealerships, you guys all have co-op money that you can throw at this, you know. So there's lots of ways for you guys to find a few extra bucks. And like I said, even if you can only do, say, $250, you're about to the end of the year, you haven't used up all your marketing dollars. Hey, we got an extra $300 laying around we need to use up. Find a nonprofit, find an event, give a test for the clay shoot, whatever you want to do. But make sure that you're not in that corporate headspace of, well, we got this money, we're just not going to use it. You know, no, there's plenty of people out there who could benefit from what you're giving, you know, and what you have. And again,
yeah, none of us have
dollar
kids.
counts.
Why would we why would we care about a toy drive? You
Right.
would care because you know what, other people have kids and these other people are potentially going to use your business.
Exactly.
And if you are not taking care of your organization around your community, if you're not taking care of your community, you're in the wrong damn community. That's just
And get yourself in the headspace that if anything like that unfortunately would ever happen to you, you would be extremely blessed to know that there are organizations out there that you can go to that can help you. And that's the point. Never forget the beginnings of everybody. You know, you start with nothing. You're born, you got nothing, you know. So put yourself back in that headspace of if you had nothing. You know, everybody is a slave to their houses, their cars, their bills, everything else. But it's like there's people who wish they could be a slave to all of that because they don't have those things. So put yourself in the mindset of being able to lift some people out of the situations that they might find themselves in. No blame, no guilt shaming, none of that. And no, well, they chose this. That kind of talk gets no one out of a situation. And it doesn't help anything. Opinions don't pay the bills. So, and don't bring joy. So you don't get to, you know, no criticisms, no blame game, no none of that. Just be happy that you can make someone else happy and feel that joy that you can be a part of something bigger.
Yeah, opinions are like a keister. Everyone has one, and most of them stink. So, you know, I mean, that's just the truth. Next Saturday, 1 week from this upcoming Saturday, the NOCO Santa Squad sporting clay shoot. Look, this looks like a hell of a lot of fun. Once again, you got the phone number right up there, 970-317-2682, 970-317-2682. Or go to nocosantasquad.org. That's NOCO for Northern Colorado, santasquad.org. If you're listening to us in Tallahassee,
exactly,
you know, it doesn't hurt to take and make a donation from there because, you know, look, we encourage you to find somebody in your community who needs it. But you know what? If you like what they're doing, throw them a bone. Tell them, you know what?
And again, it's all part of a bigger network too.
My area.
Yeah, and it's all part of a bigger network. We all work together to fill the needs for our communities, and every little bit helps. Like I said, no dollar amount is too small to be able to help, because collectively it's like every drop makes the ocean eventually, and that's what it takes. It takes everybody to say, yes, I can spare a couple of bucks, or I can go throw a toy in, the truck at Walmart on the 26th and 27th, or I know some guys who should do the clay shoot. It's for a good cause. Get them over there. And again, challenge each other. You guys work better with egos anyway. When you start going, yeah, I can shoot better than you. That's how it works. Yeah,
there you go. You got us right there.
You got to start goading each other and start putting the challenges out there. But
I'd be challenging somebody. Hey, how the hell does this thing work? Am I
God,
holding it right?
Like I said, can I bring my super soaker? Because that's about my skill level.
I would pretty much have to. I would be the guy out there going pew pew.
Totally.
It didn't work.
Totally.
The thing didn't fall. What happened?
Yeah, I didn't even know what any of that was until years and years ago, when people were like, yeah, we're gonna go out and shoot clay pigeons. I'm like, what the hell is that? I was like, is some pottery person pissed off and throwing clay pigeons up in the air? I had no idea what the hell that even meant. So yes, it's been educational over my lifetime to learn about all these strange sports, everything from like, what the hell is pickleball? Are they hitting pickles? So yeah, I mean, as people keep inventing newer and newer ways to compete and to be weird and shoot strange things, I mean, go for it. But
as a Gherkin fan, if I found out there was a sport where they were hitting pickles, I would protest. I would protest loudly.
So is my youngest daughter. She is like pickle fanatic. She buys everything that's flavored with pickles, from cotton candy to taffy to you name it.
Believe it or not, on one of the stupid phone games that I've got, I am the Gherkin King. That is nice. No joke. I am the Gherkin King. So, I truly do. I live and love my pickles. So, Janet, and again, if you are looking to make a difference in your business, this lady right here, she needs help with the job. She's open for a job. And I'm telling you, you will not regret it. You will not.
Come talk to me. I mean, I'm open for conversations all the time, and I, like I said, I know what I don't want.
Yeah.
But I'm open to, listening to lots of different possibilities. And, a lot of places are to the point where they didn't have development people before, and now it's getting to that point where things have shifted and, life is changing, and it's time to bring on somebody that can help them grow to the next level. I'm always open for conversations.
And, if you just got a little bit of extra time, you can always throw it our way. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. So, you know what, Janet, it's really great that we're not racing against a clock, on this episode. You and I were always like, okay, we got 30 minutes to talk. Let's go here.
Right. I know.
Trying to get it done. And we always went over anyway. You were
exactly
always and we always went over anyway. But this has been so nice just to be able to, first off, catch up with you. I mean, hell, it's been half a year since we really talked. So it's been nice to be able to get you back in here. But please, folks, this is a wonderful, wonderful person. And if you are looking to make a difference, get a hold of Janet. If you have some ideas, if you have some questions, and this is for all nonprofits everywhere, Janet has called and had conversations with people all over the country for me, because I've asked her if she could talk to people. She will talk to you. She will help you through things. She is a wonderful human being.
I'm a mouth. That's all I am. I talk a lot.
Yeah, let's put it this way. This was supposed to be a 15-minute interview. 46, 47.
How's that going for you?
So, but I love it. I would keep going for the entire 2 hours. Janet, I love you with all of my heart, and I appreciate everything that you do. Please send us all the flyers so we can help you promote. Please make us aware whenever you post something, and that way I can take and share it out for you. But thank you, sweetie, and the best of luck.
if you don't have anything going on the 5th, if you want a vendor spot there to help promote Community Pay It Forward, you're welcome.
Hey, if the guys there at NOCO Santa Squad want to maybe get involved with the Community Pay It Forward program, and maybe we could help them raise money, I think that would be a
Absolutely.
pretty good place to announce a partnership.
Yeah. So think about it.
Yeah, well, you think
know
about
me,
it
I
as
don't let
well.
opportunities go by. It's like,
Yeah,
every
I
event that I
agree.
used to do, I always invited you because I want you to be able to get your mission out there as well.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's definitely let me look into it. I think that might. I know I'd have fun, and I know that dragging my dad out there, and I know my wife is going to have a blast because she is all kinds of redneck. As long as the spider don't come back to get her, um,
you're gonna have to find a fake one that looks just like yours and bring it.
yeah. No, I like living, and she'd
You
kick
like
my.
yeah. You want to keep your marriage going for a little longer.
Yeah. 2 years wouldn't be a great marriage, so let's keep that going a little bit. But October 5th, starting at 11
11
a.m.
o'clock.
Yep. Great Guns in Nunn, Colorado. If you need help finding it, give us a call. We'll help you find it. Okay. Look, we support I support anything Janet does, and I
Don't
definitely
go there.
support.
That may be tricky.
Yeah, well, I still stand by my statement. But more importantly, I support anything that supports families. So please
Yes.
come and do this. If you're in the northern Colorado area, southern Wyoming, Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, it's not that long of a drive. Okay.
No.
Look, you can get here before you can drive across Texas. So why don't you come on up here? All right.
There
Come
you
and
go.
visit us. So
and hit the website. Keep an eye on that. Our events and all of our things are up there. Registration for everything is there. Once registration is available for an event, it's up on the website. Connect with us on Facebook. I just started our LinkedIn page last week. So we're on Instagram. So yeah, follow us. There's always news of different things that we're up to. Different organizations that have decided to partner up, or where we have a new distribution location, or a donation box, location. So keep up with us, see what we're up to.
sounds great. All right, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. It's so great to see you again. Let's folks come together for NOCO Santa Squad. Let's make this happen for kids, not just for the Christmas season, but all year round.
Long.
Again,
Yep.
gives me chills because that's kind of the way that we do things as well. So if you need any information, please get a hold of us. We'll get you connected with Janet immediately. So thank you, dear.
Thank you.
I love that lady. I really do. She is so good at what she does. And while we were playing that interview, I did go and I did find her LinkedIn handle. It's right there, linkedin.com, Janet Hatfield. Just go and check it out. Look, she's the best at what she does. Just flat out, she's the best at what she does. We are going to be talking with Papa John, Santa Papa John, and he's going to be joining us next week. We're going to be talking to him. We were going to talk to him today. Unfortunately, the electric thing happened, and we couldn't talk to him today because the electric thing happened. So there's nothing we could do. But Papa John and I were talking about some things. Hey, you know what? Look him up on Facebook, on LinkedIn as well. He's been putting out a lot of posts lately, and he's been doing a lot of things. And he honored me today, and I'm thrilled to announce this. It's it's really cool. Okay. It's as a business person, what I've tried to do, I feel very honored by this. My company, Community Pay It Forward, has now been Santa approved. That is a thing. It is a thing, and it's really pretty damn cool because you know what? What Santa Papa John is trying to do is he's trying to show people these are heart-led organizations. These are businesses that care for other people. And so he created this thing. Are you Santa approved? Community Pay It Forward is now Santa approved, and we are proud to be Santa approved, even though I've got like the phones thing going here with my collar. I just noticed that. Sorry about that. I'm trying to be cooler than I actually am. So here in 2 weeks, we're going to have the next episode in our line of the Community Access Show. Again, Daniel, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that we're doing this. And again, this is not the purpose of this show is not to be well, why aren't you doing this? What is wrong with you? What's going on? Well, do you know how dumb this is if you don't do? That's not what this is about. Daniel Hodges, great guy, just fantastic guy, very, very busy guy. Angela Fowler, wonderful, wonderful lady. I love her. She is, I mean, you've seen her. She's one of the guys. She's like hanging out with one of the guys. She really is. I don't think she's going to mind me saying that. She is definitely like hanging out with one of the guys. And this program is to let you know, let your business understand what access is, what full access is for people who have different different ranges of abilities, different challenges and abilities. Okay. They don't want the stigma of being differently abled, because let's be damn clear here. Okay. Every single one of us is differently abled. I cannot run a 40 in under 32 minutes. I can't do it. Well, maybe I could do that. Maybe. 38 minutes, maybe. Many of you out there could. Every single one of us is differently abled, okay? There are just challenges with every single one of us has challenges with something. So every single one of us realistically has different abilities than someone else. So let's remember this. All right. So, and if you can't access a website because I don't know, just say your computer won't pull it up. Are you going to work forever to dig into that computer, to that website? No, you're not. You're going to go back to your Google. You're going to go back to your DuckDuckGo. You're going to go back to wherever. You're going to type in what you're looking for again, and you're going to find the competitor. You're going to find the next person, and they're going to move on. Facts are facts. We didn't create this show. Daniel Hodges, Angela Fowler, we didn't create this to yell at people about accessibility for people with handicaps. We created it for information. So, and I enjoyed having the first episode. I'm going to ask you if you'd like, go back, watch the episode, watch it again. If you need me to send it to you, get a hold of me, communitypayitforward.us. Just go to the section where ask any questions, and I'll send you a copy of the interview. That way you can watch it. Call them. Do what you got to do. Then next Saturday, 1 week from this upcoming Saturday, join that clay shoot. Look, I'm pretty sure that we're going to be there. I just talked to my wife. She thinks it's a great idea. I'm pretty sure that we're going to be there. We're going to have a table there, and which just thrills me to death, because that just means I get to hang out more with Janet, and that just, Adrian and Janet get along great. We get to talk to them a little bit more about what we got going on, and we get to talk a lot more about the chili cook-off that's coming up, which is really the kickoff for a miracle. We do have some toy obligations that we're going to be taking care of on that from that chili cook-off. Mainly, we're looking to collect books for the hospitals. Okay, that's kind of where our sweet spot is. We want to get books in for kids all year long. And when I was talking to Janet about it, one of the things that we decided that maybe we could do is we could maybe give the toys to their organization. So, hey, everybody. That's it for me. Again, sorry I was a couple minutes late, but I'm just happy we had a show that went off today. So it was a little hit or miss. I didn't know, and especially when you take and you try to text message an office phone, a landline, it doesn't work very well. So don't try to text a landline. But I want to thank Angela Fowler. I want to thank Daniel Hodges, and I want to thank and just say, Janet, it was so great to see you again. I want to thank Janet Hatfield, and I want to thank you for joining us. If it was for 1 second, if it was for 1 minute, if it was for 1 hour, whatever. I do invite you to stay tuned to Community Pay It Forward and all we are doing here to try to change lives. Next week, we are going to have a couple more guests on. Like I said, we will be talking to Santa Papa John a little bit more about the Miracle program. But we're going to ask you right now, I'm going to end this by asking one thing of you. Please, if you can volunteer, if you want to sponsor, we need your help to make this go. Our goal is to help everyone. Sound impossible? It's not. People only say it's not possible because we've never tried. Well, we're going to try. All right. We might not be able to help everyone with everything, but we don't know until we try. Please make sure you love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. Remember, if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. No one has to go it alone when we all come together. My name is Zach Clayton, President and Founder, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PAC channels. I want to thank you so very much for joining me tonight. And remember, folks, look, take care of each other. We're all we got.
Show me the way. You wanna hold the heart of Sunset Boulevard. Bring me here, 'cause it's not quite clear to be a part of Sunset Boulevard.
This holiday season, as the world celebrates in so many ways, some families are facing it apart, feeling the weight of loneliness. At a miracle of a community that cares, we are creating a space where everyone, regardless of faith or background, can share in the joy of this wonderful season. Join Santa and leaders from all walks of life for stories, special shout-outs, and heartfelt messages from loved ones near and far. Children are taking the lead with art and fun, helping us bring the gift of books to children everywhere. Children in hospitals, children to families of all faiths, and to fortify traditions of families. This season, let's come together as a global community, one that cares, one that gives, and one that embraces all cultures, part of the miracle. Join us from December 24th to December 26th, and let's make this season unforgettable for everyone. Introducing Shop, Click, and Pick, the simplest way to support those doing good in communities everywhere. We understand that shopping is a necessity, but with a slight adjustment, you can make a huge difference without spending any extra money. Here's how it works. Please visit communitypayitforward.us and navigate to the Find Your Partners tab. Discover our verified giving partners, which are trusted allies ready to meet your needs. Shop with any of the partners that resonate with you. Click a picture of the receipt or invoice, then pick the mission partner you wish to support and use their QR code to send the receipt directly to us. After that, all you have to do is sit back and enjoy your purchases, knowing that you've made a meaningful change for someone in need. Community Pay It Forward amplifies your business's impact by sharing the story of those who require your services, rallying support for those who need us all. Because no one needs to go it alone when we all come together.